Afternoon everyone. So one of the things I get asked about the most is the sit or the stop whistle. What's the purpose of it? How do you train it? So we'll start from this. So for me, the purpose of a sit or stop whistle. So if you have a pet dog that you're just it's just a pet, then you would use the stop whistle for your dog starts to chase something and you blow the stop whistle and your dog stops. Sometimes it's easier than the recall whistle, because if your dog's running full pelt, some dogs will turn on a 6 months and come straight back, but the stop whistle just stops the chase basically. But for people who have gun dogs, and any gun dog trainer will always, they'll all say the same thing, it's one of the biggest things in your armory. Why? So what do I use a sit or stop whistle for? So if I sit Billy up out there and I chuck two dummies, so let's say I've sat him here and I chucked a dummy to the left, a dummy to the right, and he starts to run for the wrong dummy, I would blow the sit whistle, put my hand up, he'd sit, then I point to where I want him to go. If we're on out and about, say even this time of year, say we're at Forest of Dean or anywhere like rural where there's pheasants and they happen to be running through the long grass and then they flush a pheasant up in the air, I would blow the sit whistle because they have to stop. The bird flies off and then they come back towards me and they carry on running. That's how I use a sit and stop whistle. It's easier than the recall whistle, because dogs, to me, are so intelligent that they understand recall means they got to come back to you, which means their fun might be about to stop, whereas a stop or a sit whistle means they're probably going to get a carry on to have their fun, but on your terms. It's very hard to recreate a dog chasing a pheasant or a rabbit and then blowing the sit whistle, but Billy is really good at this. Now I've shot myself in the foot. So I'm going to sit him up, I'm going to chuck a dummy one way, a dummy the other way. I'm going to send him for one initially, then I'm going to sit up, stop him, and then send him for the opposite one. I haven't done it much with Dexter, to be fair, so I might video that, because if it goes wrong, I want people to see that dogs aren't robots. They are dogs. But we'll have a go with Bill. Come here, Bill. Sit up. Sit. He's always been good at this. To be fair to him, he's always been good at everything. He's been a brilliant dog. Sit up. So I chop one up there. These long throw dummies. Look at that, that's just underarm. Sit. Throw that a bit further. So that's the one I'm sending him for by the tree. Out. Sit. Out. Like that. And that, for the sit, for me, that might be him going to chase something, it could be anything. So at the moment, you see, he's focused on that one because that was the first one he threw, but I'm just leaving him up there to hunt now. So whilst he's up there, he won't care about anything else in this world but finding that dummy. That's about as far away from it as I want him to be. Now his nose is down, he'll find this now. But I don't want him to go too far away. And I'll guide him. So now he comes back for this one. So anyone that's watched my earlier video about sit up, dead, sit. So he's had that one, so I'm going to go and fetch this one. He doesn't get both of them. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And then when I walk back towards him, I'm just going to not say anything to him, I'm just going to chuck dummies up in the air. He shouldn't move. For me, steadiness is one of the biggest fundamental basics of any dog. Pet, gun dog, agility dog, hoopers, anything, there's anyone like that, or anything, anything really, you've got to have steadiness. And I've told him to sit, you see, and he hasn't moved. I'm not going to say anything to him, I'm just going to chuck that dummy up, watch. You leave it alone. Chuck that one up. He'll leave it alone. So this is where I say to people a lot of time, What does stay and wait mean? Sit is sit. Sit there and don't move. But that's a question I get asked a lot. It's one of the hardest things to teach. So how I would teach it to start with is I usually teach a sit whistle, putting a food bowl down for a young dog. As soon as I put the food bowl down, I blow a sit whistle, dog sits, gets fed. Then I would start like if Bill was a young dog now, he's off lead, as he starts to come towards me, I'd step towards him and blow a sit whistle, and I'd step towards him and do that, because as I step, it will naturally make him want to sit back on his back legs. So he sits down, then over time it just gets further and further away. But you take your time with it, it's trainable for every dog. And I've got some people at the moment trying to do it with their dogs. They want to be gun dogs or pet dogs, but they want better obedience. They will be flying. Once the dog gets it, it'll get it. So I hope that helps. If anyone wants to sort of see it more intense, I might do a little bit with Dexter, because I haven't done much with him with this, the sit whistle. He will sit to whistle, but I haven't done it like I do with Billy. Like he won't move. Dexter, sometimes I have to go and put his bum back down. But I hope it helps. But that's what, to me, that is what a sit or stop whistle is. If your dog is chasing something, like a pigeon, and I've said this before, and that pigeon flies off and your dog carries on chasing it, it is untrained. Your dog is untrained. You need to sort it out. If it flies off, your dog turns and comes back, that's just your prey drive. There's a difference. Hope it helps. Any questions or comments, fire away as always. Thanks all.